Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel, whichever one. So I'm going to do a couple things in this video. We're going to do a quick what I'm reading, what I want to read kind of thing for the month. Again, I don't really do TBRs, but right now, currently I am reading Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson. I am about 80% of the way through. I am reading it on my Kindle because I have it on ebook. I am enjoying it-ish. It's very convoluted. It's very dense. It's very, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a difficult beginning of a series. It's difficult. He doesn't handhold, obviously. Like everyone says that. He literally throws you into the world and basically builds that up around you while you try to learn the people, the places, the magic system, everything. I don't mind it. I think it could have been broken up better because it's a multi-POV. So it's got many characters. So I think it could have been done kind of the way like a George R.R. Martin did it, where each chapter heading would have been like, okay, this character. But I see why he didn't do that because of the way the multi-POVs kind of intertwine throughout the chapter. So it makes sense the way he did it. It got really dense and it was slow for me at the beginning, so I ended up kind of reading and listening to the audiobook at the same time because I have Scribd. So it was on Scribd, so I listened to it. So that's what I'm reading currently. Like I said, I'm about 80% of the way through on my Kindle. That when I'm finished with that, I want to finish Valor. I started this the other day just kind of to get my mind off of Gardens of the Moon for a little bit. So I read Malice last month. I loved it. It was probably my favorite book of the month. And I want to continue with the series. So I picked up the whole series. If you can see it over in the corner, I actually picked up the same size book, nice and big, of Malice as well. So I have matching set. But yeah, I went on Amazon and I got the whole set. I bought all 7 books. And I even pre-ordered Shadows of the Gods, which I don't pre-order books. That's how much I love John Gwynn's writing. So I went ahead and got Valor, Ruin, Wraith, the rest of the Faithful and the Fallen. And then I went ahead and got A Time of Dread, Blood, and Courage. Yeah. His A Blood and Bone series. I finished those off. You can probably see them in the corner over here. So I want to read that. So that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about what I'm planning to read this month. Because like I said, I don't really do TBRs too often, or I don't do TBRs at all. But now I kind of want to let you guys know about what I bought in the month of February / the beginning of March. Because it was quite a bit, and I don't want to wait until the end of March to do it. We'll start with the bookoutlet.com order that I put in. I tried filming this video earlier, but the camera that I was using didn't record the audio. So it fucking sucked. So now I have to do it again. So I'm just going to blow through these books. I don't know much about any of these books at all. If I don't know anything about them. I don't even read the synopsis. I'm kind of a cover buyer. So first book I got was The Never King by James Abbott. I mean, just it looks cool. He can set fire to I don't know. It looks good. A New Legend Begins. It looks decent. So yeah, that's the first book I got. Again, I don't know much about these books, so I'm just going to blow through them. I just want to read them. The next one I got was Dividing Eden. This is the first book in a series. I believe it's a YA series. I don't know why I continue. It looks like it's got 2 full-length books and 2 digital novellas. This is by Joel Charbonneau. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. But it looked interesting. The cover was really cool. That intrigued me. And it's about twins trying to become king, I guess. So that's 2. Next one I got was The Gray Bastards. It looked really cool. It's an orcish theme, a novel. It's the first in a series as well. I guess it got picked up by Orbit, which is a publisher for obviously fantasy, if you like fantasy and sci-fi, and even horror. But so this is the first book in the series. It looked good. So I want to read that as well. Next one, the reason why I got this one is because it's got a tiger on the front, and I'm a sucker for tigers. And this is Gates of Stone by Agnes McCollin. Sucker for tiger. And on one of the little blurbs on the back is, in a world of blood and magic, a powerful epic fantasy begins. So don't know what's much about it, but I'm looking forward to it. So it's a debut novel. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. Like I said, getting into fantasies is scary, to say the least. Let me put these down on the floor here. But I'm enjoying my romp through them as of right now. The next book I got is technically a series of 4 books in one, called Year of the Wicked, by Jeff Marriott. So I saw this book a few times at Barnes & Noble and never really picked it up, but I figured it's 4 books in one. I think I got it for like $3 or something on Book Outlet. So I was like, yeah, let's give it a try. Don't know much about it, but we'll give it a shot and try to blow through it, see what I get. Next one I got, I've been hearing a little bit of rumblings about this on the BookTube community, but this book looked cool. It's got a dragon on the front. It's The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. I picked it up, and again, don't know much about it, but it looks really cool, and something I'm looking to get into. Obviously it's a big chunker of a book, just like pretty much every fantasy out there. It looks vast but fun at the same time, so I'm looking forward to reading this. Next 2 are actually hardcover books, and one of them, it just looks really Norse inspired, or Viking inspired. So I kind of wanted to jump on this, and it's the Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. Yeah, it looked really cool, looked really intriguing. It's an epic journey. It's got some blurbs on the back by S.A. Chakraborty, Tamsin Muir, Jen Lyons, people that I've heard of. Again, I'm not huge into the fantasy world, but I'm getting there. So I want to read this Priestess, Assassin, Traitor. So it looks pretty interesting, and I'm definitely down to read that for sure. And then the other one I've been hearing quite a bit about. It was actually a selection of Book of the Month, but I got it for $2 on Book Outlet, so I couldn't really complain. I guess this author's been around for a while. I didn't even realize it was a female author either, but it's Cal Cade's Fate of the Fallen. I guess EB Novels or Elliot Brooks went ahead and read it, did a little review on it. I never even noticed, but I'm looking forward to reading it. It's like, again, I don't know anything about it, but just the cover looked really cool. But I guess it's like a satire on something or other. Beats the crap out of me. I have no idea, but everyone loves Matthias, or Matthias, or however you want to pronounce it. So that concludes the Book Outlet order that I had. I have a little bookstore in town here in where I live. It's called Book Warehouse. It's kind of interesting. You go in and you can choose like 3 mass market paperbacks three like regular paperbacks or hardbacks for $20, or 4 mass market paperbacks for $20 or something like that. It's like a 4 for $20, or you spend $5.99 on each book or whatever. So I went in. I was having a really bad day at work. It was pretty shitty. I just wanted to browse, see what they got, and I ended up getting 4 books from this place. The first one is called The Blood Print by Ozma Khan. I'm just not going to pronounce the middle name, but this looked pretty cool. Again, I don't know much about it because I don't even bother reading the synopsis most of the time. I usually go right to the first page, and I'll read like the first couple of sentences or one sentence, and if the writing seems something that I would flow with or jive with, then yes. So this looks really cool. The only defense against ignorance of men is the brilliance of a powerful woman. So it's obviously it's written by a woman, and I'm down to read stuff by women. So I want to read this for sure. So the blood print. And then the next one I got, this one's more sci-fi, steampunkish, but with a little bit of fantasy twist in there. And it's called The Inventor's Secret. I guess it's a series. And this is by Andrea Kramer. I'm going to go with Kramer because it sounds better. And I love the chapter pages. Like they've got like these little gears and it's grayed out, not like a normal white page like you would with all the words on it. But each chapter start has that little gear page and everything. So it's really cool. And I'm looking forward to reading it. I like the cover. I thought the cover was really cool. You know, she's got the like gears and the steampunk. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'll put it a little closer. So I really like that. Next one I got was, it's talked about a lot on BookTube, to be honest. It's a lot of people's favorite book by this author. But you know what? I figured it's got a lot of hype. I'll give it a shot. Again, it was only like $4 or $5. So I was like, hell yeah. So it's Laini Taylor's Strange the Dreamer. Heard some decent things about it. I know nothing about it besides the fact that it's about this guy named Laszlo Strange, and it's kind of like a romp through the park. Not really, but I'm looking forward to trying that one out for sure. It looked really good. It's got a little blurb by Leigh Bardugo, and I like Leigh Bardugo. It says, Laini Taylor is so damn good and like no other. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the last book I got, it's actually 3 books in one. I like these little omnibuses or bind-ups of stuff. And it's called The Hidden Kingdom by Amanda Hocking. When I bought it, the clerk at the store actually said that she just picked it up, and she said she was enjoying it quite a bit. Again, know nothing about it, but it's, you know, it's a complete trilogy. It looks pretty good. I like the cover. It's very blue, very reminiscent of like winter in my hometown back in New Hampshire. So I really like that. Yeah. So we're going to give that a shot at some point as well. So those are the 4 books that I got there. Let me put this down over here. And then I got some more books in front of me, so don't worry. And then I decided to go to Half Price Books on a whim, look to see what they got. I like Half Price Books. I say, why the fuck not, right? But the first book that I saw when I was browsing their fantasy sci-fi was something that it looks interesting just by the front cover, and it's called The Legend of Eli Moonpress by Rachel Aaron. And just the cover itself kind of drew me in with him just propped on that, what is it? Like, I don't know, it looks like a gargoyle's head, but not really, with a snake body. I don't know. It's hard to digest that, but just his smirk on the front cover was like, all right, this is kind of cool. But this is a bind up. So it's the whole series, or the beginning of The Legend of Eli. So it's got volumes 1, 2, and 3, which is The Spirit Thief, The Spirit Rebellion, and The Spirit Eater. Of this series, called The Legend of Eli Moonpress. Actually, yeah, it should be just those 3. Yeah, but it looked interesting. It's a big chunk, so it'll take a little while. But I wanted to read it. I grabbed it, so I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. Then the next one I found, I didn't realize at the time that I picked it up, it was part of a series, but I should have known better just judging by the binding. That because it has the number 7 on it, but you know me, I'm stupid at times. But it's Adrian Tchaikovsky's Heirs of the Blade. It's the Shadows of the Apt series. So this is book number 7 in the series. But it's kind of interesting because at the beginning it kind of gives you a summary of what's already happened. So I guess you can kind of treat it as a standalone almost. I don't know, but the cover looked pretty cool. So I figured I'd give it a shot. This is kind of a UK edition because it's got UK and Canada on the price point on the bottom there. Again, I don't know much of anything, and I tend to do that a lot. I don't really like knowing much about books that I buy or want to read. So yeah, I don't know much about it, but I like that cover. That cover is pretty dope. If you can see that, pretty cool. I'll try not to move as much, but yeah, it's a pretty cool cover. And then the next 3 books I got, they were all in the like mass market paperback section of the fantasy sci-fi. The first one I saw was Stephen R. Lawhead's Hood. I dig that cover, and I dig pretty much anything Robin Hood inspired. So this is kind of a Robin Hood retelling. It's also part of the King Raven trilogy. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Anything Celtic mythology, I'm down for. I think that's why I liked Malice so much. The next book I saw that I picked up was David Chandler's Den of Thieves, which is book 1 of, what is it called? The Ancient Blades trilogy. I just like the cover, like him just him just crouched on the roof, getting ready with his dagger in his left hand, just being like, yeah, let's go, motherfucker. So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, wanting to read more fantasy, so I'm trying to like branch out as much as possible. And then I was quite lucky when I saw this, and I've heard like really good things about this author, about the series. So I was like, fuck it, let's go ahead. It was like, I think this thing was like $2 or $3 or something like that. And it's Prince of Fools by Mark Lawrence. And this edition is really like nobody's even cracked it before. So Prince of Fools, I'm definitely down for this. It's the first book in the Red Queen's War. So Prince of Fools, The Liar's Key, The Wheel of Oshime, and Red Sister. So I know a lot of people tell you to start with Broken Empire. The Broken Empire, which is Prince of Thorns, King of Thorns, and Emperor of Thorns. But I figured this was there. I grabbed it. We'll go from there. So that was everything I got from Half Price Books because, yeah, I could. And then next, I'll just talk about the order that I placed at the end of February after I had finished Malice, because I really, really liked Malice. So I went ahead and I ordered. The U.S. versions of Malice, Valor, Wrath, Ruin, Time of Dread, A Time of Blood, and A Time of Courage. So I ordered all 7 of those, and then I ordered another book on top of that because I've heard pretty good things about this, and I like the cover, and I like pretty much Civil War-ish military. Anything military is kind of cool. My dad was in the military, so I ordered Promise of Blood, which is book 1 in the Powder Mage trilogy by Peter McClellan. McClellan. I can't say words. So the cover looks really freaking cool, and like I've heard nothing but good things about this guy. So yeah, so I want to read this at some point. Not sure when. My plate's pretty full with working 60 hours a week and trying to blow through Gardens of the Moon right now, which is difficult as all hell, but I'll get there. So yeah, I got all the whole Faithful and the Fallen of Blood and Bone, the Banished Lands series, as well as that at the end of February. And then I ordered from Amazon, and this is The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis. I like the cover. That's why I pretty much bought it. I thought the cover was stunning, like fantastic. So, like, again, I don't know much about it, but the beginning, the little synopsis on the back just says, "First sister has no name and no voice." So it just intrigued me. Something new. It is the first book in the First Sister trilogy. I believe it's going to be a trilogy. I think that's what it's going to be called, be part of. Yeah, it just says book 1 of the First Sister trilogy. So I don't even know if it's going to be called the First Sister trilogy or if they're going to change the name to it. But this book is just gorgeous. So I picked it up off Amazon. And while I was on Amazon, I had to get meds and stuff because I had weight loss surgery. So I have to take calcium citrate. So I had to buy more of that. That's besides the point. But I also got the Ryaria, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ryaria Revelations box set, which has the Theft of Swords, The Rise of Empire, and Heir of Navron by Michael J. Sullivan. I picked that up. It wasn't expensive. It was like $25, something like that. So I was like, I've heard Mike say good things about it on Mike's book reviews. I've heard others, like Daniel from Daniel Green, like he says good things about it. So I was like, why the hell not? And I picked it up. Yeah, so that was the order that I had, the 2 orders that I had from Amazon, which is weird that I buy stuff from the place that I work at, but it's convenient. So yeah, my dad's birthday was March 5th. So I took the day off from work, and I went to visit them. They only live about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. So I went to visit them, my mom and my dad, for his birthday. And I was like, hey, let's go to Barnes & Noble. You guys can pick out whatever you want. It's on me. Merry Christmas, happy birthday. I wasn't saying Merry Christmas. I just said happy birthday. But so I went and I found a few books for myself. Yeah, it was my dad's birthday, but I bought shit from me, okay? So I bought 4 books at that Barnes & Noble that we went to where my parents live. The first one I found was Soul Keeper by David Daglish. I heard some pretty decent things about this, so I was like, hell yeah. And the fact that it was at Barnes & Noble was like even better. I know he's got a lot of books out. He's got the Shadow Dance series, which I'm looking at, and the covers on those just look phenomenal. And he's got the other 2 of this series, which I don't remember the names of right now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this because I heard it was pretty good. So I picked that up for me. Next one I saw was James S.A. Corey's The Leviathan Wakes, the Expanse series. I know there's the Amazon Prime show. I haven't watched it. I don't really want to until I read at least the first novel. But I've heard good things about this, and I kind of want to dip my toes into some sci-fi as well. So I like the cover of this. I think each cover that they have is just amazing. And like I said, I've never really been a sci-fi fantasy kind of kid. I've always been right into the real world, like reading thrillers, even though I know everything's fiction, thrillers and stuff like that. So I wanted to get into some sci-fi, and I really like want to read this. So I got that. The next one I saw that she was putting out, I think it's the 4th book in the series. And to be honest, the reason why I wanted to get it was because it was called The Chronicles of the Bitch Queen. That name is just fucking phenomenal. But it's K.S. Veloso's The Wolf of Oren-Yaro. The first book in the series of The Chronicles of the Bitch Queen. I don't know how many books there will be, but I know there's 4, I believe. 3 of which are out right now. I don't want to get the other 2. I try not to get all the series unless I loved it like I did Malice. So I try to get just book 1s for the time being. Test them out, see how I like it. But this just seemed really cool. Chronicles of the Bitch Queen. It's just that's an awesome name. So I got that as well. And then the last book that I found at that romp through Barnes & Noble for myself was We Ride the Storm by Devon Madsen. I've heard some decent things about this. I haven't really heard much, to be honest, but I like the cover. It looks very Genghis Khan-ish, I guess. I don't know anything about it. But it's the little blurb on the back says, "War built the Kissian Empire. War will tear it down." I like that. So, like, the cover is just cool. So I want to read that for sure at some point. And I love these Orbit books because the text is not like super small. So you're not straining to like read it. So I like that. So that was that trip. And then on my way back home to my apartment, I wanted to find this book called The Babysitter, which is a true crime novel. But the hardcover, it's out in hardcover. It just got released a few weeks ago, but it was like $22. I was like, I don't really want to spend $22 on that right now. So I'll either get it on Kindle or I'll wait until it drops in price, or I'll find it used or something. So I went back to this Barnes & Noble. I stopped at this Barnes & Noble in Austin, and the first book that I saw, I really liked this cover, and it's a new release by Essa Hansen. It's called Neffic Gloss. Again, sci-fi. I want to read more sci-fi. There was another book that I was kicking myself that I didn't pick up. I'll have it linked in the description. It's actually in my Amazon wish list that I'll have linked in the description. Not like I'm asking for anything, but I have it in there just so I remember pretty much. I can't remember the name of it, but I think the second one is called Chaos Velocity or something like that. But I wanted to read this because it looked really cool. Again, sci-fi. I want to read more sci-fi as well as more fantasy. So that was what I got there. And then the next book I picked up, I've heard some rumblings about this, but I've never heard anybody talk about it. But I like the title of it. It's Jackson Ford's The Girl Who Moved Shit With Her Mind. And to be honest, I was like, that title's cool. But then I opened it up to literally the first line of the book, and it goes, "On second thoughts, throwing myself out the window of a skyscraper may not have been the best idea. Not because I'm going to die or anything. I've totally got that under control." You got me hooked, bro. So, and it's got a blurb on here like Alias meets X-Men. I loved it. So that's pretty cool. That first line, those first two lines just kind of intrigued me. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's go for it. So I picked that up. And then I was browsing a different section and I found the second book in this series by Sam Sykes. But I wanted to see if they had the first one, because I love this book cover. Like, this cover is phenomenal. The cover art by Jeremy Wilson. It's fucking awesome. I've never heard anything about Sam Sykes. I've never heard anything about the series. But hey, you never know what you're going to like until you just dive headfirst into shit, right? So I think it's book one of The Grave of Empires. The second book, I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a yellow cover as well. And it's similar to this, and it was stunning. So I'm looking forward to reading that as well. I'm looking forward to reading every book that I showed you today. But most importantly, I've got to get through Gardens of the Moon by Stephen Erickson, and then I've got to jump on Valor. I've already read a few chapters of Valor, and I'm fucking loving it because I like the way he kind of brings you back. So, like, the first couple of chapters are just reintroducing you to the characters and then throwing you back into what happened in Malice towards the end of the book, which is great. I fucking love that. So I'm looking forward to reading Valor, getting that done. So yeah, guys, if you are interested in hearing more in-depth thoughts of books that I've read, like Gardens of the Moon or Malice or Valor or whatever I'm reading, and you want more in-depth reviews, let me know in the comments. I don't really do reviews. I have my Goodreads, and I just put I don't go into spoilers in my Goodreads. I just throw out my generalized thoughts. Nothing huge, nothing out of the ordinary. But yeah, if you're interested in hearing reviews, kind of like what Slowly Read does, I could try and do that. I can't form cognitive sentences like he can. Slowly Read, if you've never watched any of Slowly Read, he's fucking funny and he's awesome. Like, he does a lot of grimdark, so he talks a lot about like those grimdark Joe Abercrombie type, or I can't remember authors that he likes, but he goes into a lot of in-depth reviews on grimdark and stuff like that. But he's great. I'll have him linked down below as well as Mike and Elliot, because those guys, I watch all of them, and they give me all the suggestions for all these fantasy books that I'm getting into. So again, if you want more in-depth reviews, just let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the unlike button, the thumbs down button. If you want to see more videos from me, subscribe. Let me know. I do this for fun. I talk about shit for fun. I work 60+ hours a week, so I try to do this for fun. But I also want to engage with the community and get to know people and make friends and stuff like that on the tube. It sounds desperate, but it really isn't. I'm just saying, like, I like doing this. So yeah, let me know if you like this as well. So that is all for now. Thank you, guys. Peace.